Hello. So now that it's the end of the semester, we get to go back and look over all the things that we've learned this semester, which I always think is super fun. I have really enjoyed taking this class, and I've always had quite an interest in marketing, and I feel as though that has grown even more through this course. I definitely have a better understanding of what marketing is and how it can be applied to so many different careers and jobs, and again, have thoroughly enjoyed taking this course. So the first thing that we learned in marketing, of course, is the definition of marketing, which is the activity, set of instructions, and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. We also learned a lot about environmental factors and how they affect marketing. So when you're looking into that, you can look into societal marketing orientation, which is acknowledging that some products might not be in the best interest of society as a whole. So an example of this and how the environment has affected this is climate change. So of course, that became kind of a bigger deal within the last 10, 20 years. And since people have become very passionate about that, it has changed the way certain companies have to market things. They want to market their products as being sustainable. And by doing this, they can't just only pay attention to the product itself, but also the packaging and what's going into the production of it. So if you're going to buy a water bottle, a reusable water bottle, because you want a sustainable material to use over and over instead of the waste of plastic water bottles, and you get it and it's wrapped in 5 pounds of plastic and in a box, again, that's not showing that the company is actually using sustainable materials and might not have the best interest. So that's just one way that an environmental factor, so something outside of the product alone, has changed the market. So as for the environmental and global markets currently, like I said, people are very interested in sustainability, very much less interested in plastic. People are really interested in carbon neutral materials and eco-friendly materials. People are paying way more attention to what they put into their bodies, as we're finding as science grows and all that kind of stuff is more at our fingertips with social media and with like online websites. We're figuring out how there are so many harmful things that we are ingesting. Like even with the Stanleys, people were testing them for lead and found that there was lead within the Stanleys. So it is super important that when products are being marketed, they're making it obvious that they are all natural, organic, they don't use preservatives, they're for self-care, because that's something that's really important to a lot of people right now. And the market has changed drastically, which is a good thing, but it is very important for companies to pay attention to how they're marketing their products. So for the marketing mix decisions, the 4 Ps, that would be product, place, promotion, and pricing. So as for the product, an example of this in my case was I was marketing a water bottle. So a reusable water bottle was my type of product. As for the place, since it's not necessarily a service, the location is much more broad. So I was planning on marketing and selling my product across North America. So that definitely depends on the size of your product and the size of your production. As for promotion, nowadays it's super common for everybody to promote stuff online, through TikTok even, through funny little videos. So some options like that would be websites, social media. You could even go in person if you're trying to go directly to your target audience, to events like the Bazaar or flea markets, farmers markets, all that kind of stuff, to get directly to the customers, to pass out flyers and stuff like that. So all of these are basically tools for marketers to bring about mutually satisfying themselves and the customers. Because obviously you want to be satisfied and make a good enough profit and get out to your customers, and you want your customers to be satisfied with the product that they receive for the value, for what they're paying for it. Okay, career opportunities. So I had some fun looking around at potential career opportunities, even in my area through Indeed and all that, and I found that there were ton of digital and online opportunities out there. So a lot of social media marketing, marketing assistant positions, which are, a lot of them seem to be pretty entry level. So something that could be a good internship or something that you could get into right after getting your degree. And marketing analyst, a whole lot of graphic design stuff out there, and digital content writer. I saw that, like, so much stuff, and a lot of it is digital. Even some of them were remote. It is crazy how technology has changed a lot of the stuff that's going on, but a lot of it does seem to be remote and online. I've even had fun looking into how the company I work at has used marketing for various reasons. So it's a nursing home, so they have to market to the families who are going to be putting their loved ones there. They have to market to the loved ones so that they have interest in going there. And what I think is super important nowadays is to market to potential employees. So in the healthcare industry, they are so short-staffed. Everywhere you go, nursing homes, even hospitals, they're very short-staffed, and that could be potentially because of COVID, but it is important for these companies to market to potential employees, make the job seem enticing, because there's also 12-hour shifts. You have to work every other weekend, you have to work holidays, so they have to find a way to draw in people. And I think it'd be super interesting if they even went to Reynolds to the job fairs, or even to the local high schools for like part-time sessions. But I definitely have been thinking about like fun ways that they could market to the community, not only for people to come and live there, but for people to come work, because we need people to work. So the stages of product development. Idea generation. So the way you would go about this is to first figure out if you have a target market. If you don't have a target market, that's not going to work out. So you want to figure out who your target market is to help figure out how you can actually market towards them. So you also need to figure out if there's existing products. There could be potential competition, or you also don't want to entirely, you could make a dupe. People are doing that nowadays too. They're just making cheaper versions of the more expensive stuff. You also want to make sure that your product is functional, that it's actually going to be something that people can use, and it's not going to be something that people throw away and then forget about forever. What is also very important is SWOT analysis. So that's where you go through and analyze your strengths within the company, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And of course, idea screening. So that would be, you could create a concept test to evaluate your prototype before you create it and put it out there, to get those last minute little fixes before you actually even create the prototype. You also need to look into business analysis. So that would be figuring out your demand, cost, sales, profit, and looking into the economic trends to help figure all that out. Next, you need to actually develop your product and create that. So nowadays, a lot of people are using 3D printing to create prototypes, which is super quick and easy. And then you need to test the market. So one way you could do this is limited introduction. So you could even pick 100 people, different types of people, to test your product and create it, like fill out a survey for that. So you could have your survey created, hand out your products, and then ask them to use the product for a week, be brutally honest, figure out where the flaws are in the product, and figure out what they really like about the product, what the public is interested in, to help figure out how you can market towards them. Because if you're marketing the benefits of a product that not many people are even interested in, then it's not going to catch their attention. But if you find what the public is super interested in and really hang on to that, you're more likely to draw more people from your target audience. And then finally, commercialization. So that's your decision to finally market your product, order your materials, need to start production, train your employees, and begin to advertise to potential customers. So that's where you can bring in social media and all that fun stuff to actually get it out to your target audience. So fair market price is super important. And so a good way to start is to figure out your base price. And so your base price could basically fit into 3 different categories. It could be above the market, below the market, or at the market. So an example of Above the market could be, if you, in water bottles, you could create a designer water bottle that is far better than the rest, and its price could be at the very top. That could be something if you're trying to market something that's more exclusive. Below market could be if you're just looking to create a cheaper option for people, or right at the market could just be an example like Stanley. Stanley is majorly blowing up. It's priced pretty fairly for how popular it is. That's probably around at market, if not maybe a little bit above. Next is the promotional mix. So the promotional mix consists of advertising, public relations, which I didn't know as much about before this course, but that's kind of evaluating the public attitudes towards the product. And that would kind of tie into the environmental factors as well. So what society feels about the product before you even get into that market. Sales promotion, personal selling, content marketing and social media, and the communication process. So basically, after all that, I have learned so incredibly much from this class and feel that I've gotten a lot stronger in marketing and have had so much fun just like walking around and taking it all in now that I have so much knowledge. I've had so much fun with all the different assignments as well, especially when we got to look into the major companies that I didn't know as much about and how they used marketing to kind of get in the minds of everybody. So it has been super fun taking all this knowledge and kind of applying it and seeing it in the world. So I really appreciate this class. I've had so much fun. Thank you.